So now we will be able to see that how the rubrospiral track will form or it will goes. So we are able to see this cursor from the here, that is the rubrospinal track is going, that is the cervical pole or that is the spinal cord, part of the spinal cord. From there it is going into this lateral reticular nucleus, and from there it is going into the part of the rubromedullary systems. From there it is the rubrospinal fiber and rubromedullary fibers crossing the and reaching to the red nucleus, and from there it will be going into the different part of the cerebral cortex, or it is also called as the small and giant pyramidal cells. This is how the rubrospinal tract crossing the spinal cord and the brain area and reaching to the motor cortex. In this diagram we are able to understand about, so in this diagram we are able to see about the efferent pathways that are in the red in color, and we are able to see the afferent pathways or sensory and ascending pathways, while motor and descending pathway. So the descending from the central nervous system to the periphery, while afferent from the periphery to the central nervous systems. So if you see all the blue colors are the afferent pathways, and all are red that are in the motor pathways, or that is also called as the efferent pathways. Now if you see the spinocerebellar tract and lateral spinothalamic tract, anterior spinothalamic tract, and in case of extrapyramidal areas we can see rubrospinal tract just beneath the lateral spinothalamic tract on the left side of the diagram. So if you see the anatomy of red nucleus, so it is a prominent structure in the rostral midbrain just dorsal to substantia nigra, high in the iron content and is more vascular than the surrounding tissues. Most important afferent projection is to be contralateral spinal cord, that is rubrospinal tract. Course will be dorsally to the pons and ventral to the lateral reticular nuclei of the medulla, then enters in the lateral white column of spinal cord and terminate in the internucleal neuron at the base of the anterior handsole. Onset extension, the cervical cord receives the maximum number of fibers. In human, this tract do not extend beyond thoracic segment. Facilitated influence over the flexor muscle tone act as an alternative route to the pyramidal tract. For better understanding, if we see this red nucleus that is in the center part, which relaying with the cerebellum, olivary nucleus as well as motor cortex, and same time with the spinal cord. With the help of rubrospinal tract, most of the part of the red nucleus works with the cerebellum. Therefore, a lesion there will be seen as ataxia, because it is control over both cerebellum, and cerebellum have a main function to control about the coordination of the movement. So whenever there is a damage in this red nucleus or rubrospinal tract, then you have such kind of problems. If we know decerebrate, upper limb and lower limb is going for extension, and decorticate, upper limb and lower limb is going for flexion and lower limb is going for extension. That is called decorticate and decerebrate. This is how the rubrospinal tract's anatomy and its functions are there. In the next video we will see about other extrapyramidal tracts. Thank you.